Welcome to the Recovery Lab podcast. We're glad you were able to join us. Recovery Lab hopes to destigmatize addiction and normalize recovery.
Our platform provides an avenue to share the many stories of those that have recovered from addiction, providing for the listener the most basic antidote to addiction. Hope.
Kind of like that, actually.
That is good.
Hey, take it away, Drew.
All right, everybody, we're back. This is episode number
89.
89 of the Recovery Lab podcast series. I'm Drew Hassan.
I'm Daniel Anderson.
We are, as you know,
The Recovery Lab. What are we talking about today, huh?
Well, this was your brainchild. So
Yeah.
I think maybe
Let me
you
take it
should
from here.
Take it away.
All right. So, something that I have struggled with, and not always a struggle, but often struggle, was tobacco, nicotine,
Caffeine,
exercising. And so today we're going to talk about what that journey has looked like in sobriety, as far as like the ultimate goal for me is to lead a healthy lifestyle, right? I didn't get sober to be a slob and be a disgusting person that, was 600-pound man in a house that had to be cut out of. So, but I want to be very, very clear from the beginning that this is not us getting on a soapbox. This is not us looking down at other people that are struggling with the exact same thing that we're struggling with. I struggle with this every single day. I probably will always struggle with this in some way, shape, or form, whether it be, the exercising or whatever. So what I want to talk about is kind of just a check-in of where we're at now. And I'll kind of go first. For me, so tobacco, nicotine, it's always been a part of my story with and vapes since I got sober April 11th of 21, and long before that. There was always something. I needed something. So I guess I was a pack-a-day smoker until maybe 5 years ago. And then I discovered vaping, and I was like, well, vaping is a lot healthier than, smoking cigarettes, supposedly. So I'm going to quit cigarettes. Well, I was able to do that, and I quit cigarettes. And the reason that I want to talk about this, just to pause real quick, is I think that people respond well to things that we talk about that are actually happening in our life, right? And that we're going through at that time. So back up a week ago, we were about to get started with Sarah, and I looked down on my desk and I had 4 vapes. 4 vapes sitting right at my desk. And I started thinking, hold on. I also have 5 more in my truck, just in case the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one, and the 8th one fail. I have that other one just in case. And I looked at myself. I was like, what the am I doing here? I am so dependent on this electronic device. And here we are, like, trying to preach, do better and be better. And here I am, just like completely self-absorbed and absorbed and needing this outside thing in order to be okay. And it was eye-opening. It really was. It was like, for the first time, you quit, and I'll let you, we'll talk about your story. You quit a number of months ago, vaping, and you picked up Zen. So last week I was like, well, you know what? The lesser of two evils probably is Zen over vaping, as right now. And I looked over at the chair, and you had a Zen, and I was like,
what's that?
Tell me about those. So the last week I've been using Zen. And I definitely have the addictive personality. So I know that after I develop a habit, which doesn't take long at all, I'm going to be with that. So I'm trying to stand on firm ground and realize that, hey, if I continue with the Zen, it's going to become a habit for me. And my ultimate goal is no nicotine, no tobacco, no vapes, no nothing, just raw dogging life, maybe chewing gum. So this last week I was heavy on the Zen Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I was just like, okay, you're developing another addiction. That's exactly what you're doing right now. You're developing another addiction. You're trading one addiction for another. And I was like, oh my God. So I bought gum and I started supplementing the vape with gum. And now I'm more, I'm kind of at the point where I'm chewing more gum than I am Zen. And then within 2 weeks, probably within the next week, my goal is to be done with all of it and just chew gum. So that's where I'm at right now. Again, I am not sitting up here on a high horse saying that if you vape or smoke cigarettes or, chew tobacco or whatever, that you're a bad person. No. I've been battling this for 19, 20 years. And I'm just now making a little bit of headway, but my story often has been, take one step forward or, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So I'm giving myself a little bit of grace to, mess up, but I don't, it's similar to, when we made that decision that drugs and alcohol are never going to be a solution for us. We were done with the idea that, well, maybe someday in the future, I'll be able to do this successfully. And this will be a good thing for my life again, because drugs and alcohol were a solution until they weren't. So I kind of had that same feeling like, okay, tobacco, nicotine, vapes, whatever, they're never going to be a solution for me. So I can continue to build this habit, or I can just do the exact same thing I did with drugs and alcohol, apply the principles of the program, take it one day at a time, and stack those days until, right now I've been a week without a vape, and that's the longest that I've ever been without a vape since 2016.
A long time.
So that's my story with tobacco and alcohol and tobacco and the legal things that we often jump into and sobriety. And again, if tobacco and all that stuff is still a solution for you, as long as you're not drinking and using that day, that's a freaking win. So I'm not sitting up here, pointing my finger, oh, you shouldn't do this. No. That's not what I'm doing.
It's a matter of prioritizing.
Yeah.
And establishing what's more important.
Yeah.
And
so tell us yours.
If you need to smoke cigarettes so that you don't shoot up in the Dollar General bathroom,
right,
then you do that.
Right. A win is a win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a win.
Right. So,
and then we'll jump into exercising later.
It's kind of layered. And, the longer that I'm sober, I can focus more on being healthy in other ways.
Yeah.
But for sure, in the beginning, you smoke those cigarettes and you use those vapes and you put on 2 patches. I mean, whatever you need to do.
Exactly.
Not to go see the dope man.
Right. Exactly.
And then as you stay sober, you can focus your attention on being healthy in other ways, going to bed on time, getting enough sleep, doing the things that improve your whole body and mind. So one of the things I've been doing, I've been trying to employ this 10-3-2-1 method.
Tell us about that.
All right. So 10-3-2-1 is no caffeine 10 hours before you go to sleep. And which means, because I go to bed kind of early, which means really no caffeine after 12. And there have been a few days at work where I was dragging ass at 3:00 wanting my afternoon cup of coffee. So no caffeine 10 hours before you go to sleep. No food 3 hours before you go to sleep. And that's tough. No work 2 hours before you go to sleep. and no screens 1 hour before you go to sleep.
Oof.
So, no caffeine. The 10, I can do that.
Yeah.
The 2, I can definitely do that. The 1, I can do that because, like I was telling you before we started recording, I've been hitting the Kindle pretty hard. And the screen on the Kindle is not like a screen on a telephone with that blue light and whatever. Eating 3 hours before I go to sleep, that's pretty challenging because I like to go eat a lot and then get into bed and go night-night. So that one's been pretty tough. But, I try to do a little bit better every day. And some days I do really, really well, and then some days I don't do well at all. But I try to do well more days than I do unwell.
Yeah. So before we jump into like the exercising and things like that, that the 3 hours before bedtime, no eating, that was
Yeah.
Okay. No, I am not able to do that right now. Like I have, and that is why I've gained 45 to 50 pounds since I've been sober. It's eating at night. I eat relatively conservatively throughout the day.
Yes.
I rarely eat breakfast. I'll have a decent,
Look,
dinner.
I eat like 175 to 185 pound man during the day.
Yeah.
I do really well.
Yeah.
Not a lot of junk, a lot of decent food.
Right.
But at night, it's my 600 pound life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like, I know my limitations.
Yeah. I feel like a disgusting, like I'm down in the hood,
Yeah.
looking for drugs at night. Like that's, and the reason behind this is not something that I've, this is something I think about every single day because it is so incredibly freaking unhealthy for me. I've gotten to a point where, and I've been like this for 10, 15 years, is I cannot get to sleep unless I'm full.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I will toss and turn to the point where I have been on my hands and knees saying, God, I don't want to eat tonight. Please help me. Please. I'm serious. Like, please
I hear
remove
ya.
the temptation like you did with drugs and alcohol. Please. I'll roll over. Okay, tonight's going to be the night. Tonight's going to be the night that I don't munch. Tonight's going to be the night. 15 minutes later. Oh my God. There's a hole in my stomach. I have to fill this hole.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's grated
God.
cheese and crackers and cookies and
If I'm lucky.
yeah.
But the main thing that we have is Riley's snacks for school. The ding dongs.
Yeah, you do.
We usually stay away from oatmeal cream pies, but if those are in the house,
It's on.
that whole box is in my room. And just trash ramen, and it's the last thing that I do before I go to bed, which is the worst possible thing that you can do to be healthy. And so this is something that I've struggled with and fought with, and I always fail. Like I have failed every single night because every single night I don't want to do it, but I continue to do it. That's the definition of insanity, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking with my therapist, what's up, Wanda? Yesterday, actually. And I was explaining this to her. I was like, this is something that I struggle with every single freaking night. Like it is like, and I told her about, I pray, like I genuinely like, God, please remove this temptation to eat because I know it's so detrimental to me. And I continue to eat. Like I just steamroll through that. So, Wanda and I were talking yesterday, and since I'm having such a difficult time not eating right before I go to bed, okay, so she was like, all right, well, why don't we try this? Why don't we try eating something healthy instead? And she was like, well, what do you like? And I was like, look, I've done this before in the past, but fresh fruit, cantaloupe, strawberries, pineapple, grapes, and watermelon. That'll put me right to sleep. She's like, well, okay, well, you need something hard also to kind of help to feel full. And I was like, well, that's actually a fantastic point. She's like, what kind of nuts do you like? I was like, I love pecans. She's like, that's what you do. For the next week, I want you to, when you go munch, go I left after therapy yesterday. I went to Kroger and I bought the platter of fresh fruit and with all of my favorite fruits in there and a bag of unflavored pecans. And last night I had a success.
All right.
I had a win.
I like this.
I ate I kind of switched between the fruit and the pecans. I would eat a couple bites of fruit, eat a couple bites of pecans conservatively, not like stuffing
whole
everything.
bag.
Yeah, like that's what I do. I'm the whole bag guy.
Yes.
And then yeah. So I had a success last night. So that's a massive win. I didn't eat trash last night. I ate, yes, but I didn't eat trash. And I'm going to try to do the exact same thing tonight. And I'm optimistic because I went to sleep so full. I felt when I woke up this morning, I was free of the shame. And that's what it is. Like eating at night, that creates shame for me because I know it's so bad. So we'll see what happens tonight. Do you have any go-to foods as far as what you eat at night if you're trying to stay away from unhealthy things? Have you tried like healthy snacks and stuff?
Yes, and listening to you talk about it has inspired me to do this again tonight. So there is a protein powder brand named Ghost, Ghost, Ghost.
Yeah.
And they have
like the Ghost energy drinks?
No.
It's not the same brand.
No.
Okay.
Well, hell, I mean, it may be the same brand, but the protein powder doesn't have energy in it. So they have a flavor called Cinnabon. And if I make a Cinnabon shake and just leave it in the refrigerator, I can go drink some of that, and then I'll feel full and can go night-night.
It's worked in the past?
I have a 4-year-old. I said go night-night. So I'm going to do that tonight.
Okay. All right.
And let me tell you what else you can do.
Yeah.
You can put a little bit of oatmeal in there, and it tastes just like apple cinnamon oatmeal.
Oh, wow.
Just like it.
What do the calories look like on that?
Oh, I mean, a whole scoop is like 25 or 30 grams of protein for 120 calories.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a scoop of just minute oatmeal is about 120 calories.
Right.
But you don't have to drink the whole thing.
Right.
And the oatmeal kind of make you feel full, and the protein powder is not. I mean, it's better than the crustable prefab,
Uncrustables?
the prefab peanut butter and jelly in a big glass of milk.
Yeah.
And
just one? You only have just one?
And 2 things of Pringles.
Okay.
2 single. I have a 4-year-old, and he eats he eats garbage.
Generally, yeah, just a garbage disposal.
Look, I woke up the other night, and there were 2 Uncrustable wrappers, a glass that had milk in it, and 3 single-serving bags of Cheez-Its. And I had marched through all of those things. So what I'll do is I'll go to sleep, and I'll like tossing and turning, and then I'll get up, and then I'll go eat, and then I'll get back in the bed, and it's on.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just going to tell on myself and be real honest. Like, so I'll tell myself I'm absolutely not going to do it tonight. I'm not going to pig out. And
believe it.
And I will mean it.
Yeah, and you could be hooked up to a lie detector, and you would pass.
And I'll be like, you will feel better in the morning. You won't have to deal with the shame of failure. You'll feel better. You'll go to the gym, and you'll put your best foot forward and feel good all day long. And I'll remind myself of all of the benefits of not pigging out right before I go to sleep, because it's not like I didn't have dinner that was big as get out.
Yeah, and delicious and fulfilling, and
because I'm a good cook. I mean, I loved dinner. It was on point.
Yeah. You don't leave dinner hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not malnourished. So, it's not like I'm needing these calories for sustenance.
Right. Like if you don't eat at night, you're literally going to pass away.
It's born of sheer gluttony.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll tell myself, I'm not going to do it, blah, 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 blah. Well, the Drew that went to sleep and slept for 30 or 45 minutes and then woke up is a different person. That's a different Drew.
Completely different person altogether.
Shit about daytime Drew.
Right.
Like, of all the people on earth that don't care about daytime Drew, nighttime Drew is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
And
I feel that, bro.
He is only concerned with pleasing him right now.
Right.
And going back to sleep.
Right. Well, because sleep is important.
Sleep is important.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, he's right about that. But look, let's pivot over to a topic that we have had some success in.
Yeah.
Working out and cold plunging. I have done better with working out, and you have done better with cold plunging.
Very much so.
Let me share with everyone and you a recent victory
Please.
that working out has produced for me. One, I've lost some weight, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Two, my blood pressure is much lower. Mm-hmm. I think I could probably get off of the blood pressure medicine. Mm-hmm. So that's a victory. I'm stronger, so that's better. But yesterday, I took my oldest son to the gym with me, and we worked out together.
Wow.
So I go to Cut and Dry that I'm repping right now with my T-shirt, and it is the best gym.
On Old Fannin.
On Old Fannin. John, Mark, and Casey are really awesome. They have a great place there.
Yep, Old Fannin and Spillway.
Yes, you should join, but don't go when I'm there. No, just kidding. Go whenever you want. So I started,
and it is a 24-hour gym.
Yeah. So I started working out there 2 years ago.
It had to be 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And it has been life-changing.
Yeah.
And so I have been able to motivate and inspire my older sons to want to go work out. So they live across town. They live in Madison, and I live out by the reservoir. So I said, well, look, this is what I'll do. I'll join the Club for Fitness of Madison. It's only $10 a month.
Yeah.
And we can go together. And so we went yesterday. And
did you go to this one right here?
Yes, the one right here in Madison. So even though it's an enormous pain in my ass, I'm going to take them in the morning and shower at the gym. I mean, if I can do this one morning a week, I will feel some victory.
Yeah.
And really, I had a wonderful time with my older son. One-on-one time. I have 4 kids. 3 of them do not live with me. 1 of them does. So one-on-one time is hard to come by. And being able to have one-on-one time with a child is glorious.
Yeah.
And we got to, and he was like, Daddy, that was real fun. And I did impress him with my dumbbell bench press.
With your Hulk-like strength?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like, Daddy, you're way stronger than I thought. And I said, you motherfucker. Son.
Don't you ever forget it.
Don't forget it. I got to keep him beat down in his mind because he's fixing to be bigger than I am.
And beat the shit out of you.
Look, you know, I try to wrestle with him, but he's going hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't.
He's 10 or 11?
He's 13.
13. And then the twins are.
So Andrew, the oldest, is 13. The twins will be 12 in November.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And Thomas will be 5 in January.
Cool. Yeah, and it's like you're doing something healthy. Not only are you just doing it for you, because often, you know, the vast majority of the time when you go into the gym, you know, that's you time. That is you investing in yourself. But to be able to do that
with him has been great because my father didn't know nothing about working out.
Yeah.
I'm in much better shape than my father was when he was my age. And you know, my father was a great person. He really was. But I can see now, he did poorly on the exercise side of things.
Yeah.
My mother, if you're listening to this, you do poorly on your exercises as well.
You going to take that, Margaret?
She knows. She knows she's doing bad. But, well, you know, they just both had physical limitations, but Danny could have definitely benefited from working out some. It would have improved things for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that he would necessarily live longer, but I think it would have increased or improved his quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's something that I have definitely struggled with. So I reached a point, I guess not last Christmas, but was it last Christmas or the Christmas before that when I was at Club 4? Was it?
So,
and you were like, why don't you come to Cut and Dry?
I took the bar in 2022, I think. That sounds about right. And I joined.
Yeah, not this summer, but last summer,
yeah,
right?
and I joined Cut and Dry. So I took the bar in July, and August 1st. Yes, 2 years ago. That's right. 2 years ago, I started Cut and Dry. And I guess about that December or so.
Right. It was December because it was right around Christmas time. Yeah. And I was motivated, I wasn't disciplined, but I was motivated for the time being. And I went for, I guess I did good about 6 months. I was part of the 4 a.m. crew, or the 5 a.m. crew. Got up at 4 and was at the gym by 5 and did that for 6-8 months or so and was making a lot of progress. I felt good. I felt, really, really great. I was running outside of the gym, which is, for me, that's not something that
I'm never going to run.
Yeah.
Ever.
And then we went to Thanksgiving, or I guess it was the following Thanksgiving, maybe. Yeah, I guess it was the following Thanksgiving. We went to North Carolina with Marge's family, and we were in this house in the mountains, so I couldn't do my routine. There was no gym there, and I couldn't run. And that's all it took to throw me off. And I've been struggling to be consistent with the gym since then. I'll have, a month or so where, again, the motivation, I'm searching for that motivation, and we know that, F your motivation. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. So I've been struggling at finding that discipline to be consistent with the gym. So, and it's massively discouraging, because I'm sitting here looking at my belly and, it's not getting skinnier. So, but I feel like perhaps I may have turned the corner. I was listening to, I guess about 3 weeks ago, I was listening to, Adam Sandler was on Rogan.
Yes.
And they were talking about, I've told you about this. They were talking about fitness, and, Adam was like, man, I can't do what you do, Joe. Like, Joe is this wildly crazy guy that's, fitness has been his life since he was like 15, 16. Like, he knows his way around a gym. And he wasn't like judgmental of Adam, or, Adam plays hoops like 4 or 5 times a day or whatever. So he definitely is moving around, but as far as like going to the gym and things like that. And Joe Rogan just approached it like, hey man, don't beat up on yourself. Like, it's totally okay. And this is what, people, the vast majority of people that start with fitness, the January, crowd that goes into the gym, they're motivated. I'm going to change this year. This is going to be my year. And they take a huge bite out of fitness and they go hard for a couple months, and then they just kind of like, they kind of burn out. Mm-hmm. Right. And Joe was like, this is what you need to do. Just start tiny, start super, super slow.
That's right. He did say that.
Yeah. Just one thing at a time, and then build on that. And then I don't know why. That's not the first time that I've heard that before, but it clicked.
But it spoke to you.
It did. It spoke to me. And I was like, okay, I'm struggling going to the gym every day. I'm struggling going to the gym at all. So what are some things what are some small steps that I take? Okay. I drink a copious amount of diet soda. I eat crap all the time. So I was able to, I thought to myself, okay, well, let's remove one negative thing from my life. Okay. So I am not going to drink anything other than water. No lemonade, no sweet tea, no nothing, just water. That's what I'm going to do. And so it's been 3 weeks, I guess, and I have not had anything other than water, with the exception of yesterday. Yesterday, I woke up, I had a dream the night before that I had cancer. This like massively vivid dream that I had cancer. I was talking with my doctor, Dr. Sheely, like in the dream. And I was like, man, you know, I got to go through chemo. Are there medications that'll help me eat? And so I was deep into this. So when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I don't have cancer, but I'm feeling a lot. Like I feel kind of out of control. I'm in fear right now. So I did yesterday morning. I went to McDonald's. I got breakfast burritos and a small Diet Coke. So full disclosure, I did have
a little comfort food.
I did have a little comfort food yesterday, and afterwards, like, did I feel better for it? Like, no, like I didn't need that, but I felt like I needed that extra whatever coming off of that tumultuous dream. So with the exception of that, I have stuck to that, the no water. I mean, no anything other than water. So I feel very, very positive about that. That's one tiny thing that I've checked off the list, and it's a day by day thing. You know, today I'm not going to do it. Tomorrow I may do it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But today I'm not going to do it. So no sodas. That's the first big thing. Well, small thing, I guess. And the next small thing that I want to do is the eating healthy at night, and then eventually get to no eating at night. But right now I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not, I guess, I mean, dare I say I don't have the willpower to not eat. I mean, that's, you know, it kind of hurts my pride to say that I don't have the willpower to stop that. But if I'm honest with myself, that's exactly what it is. Like, I'm not able to have self-control when it comes to that. So the small next thing is eating healthy food right before I go to bed instead of trash. And we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to do what Rogan suggested. Just take it one small thing at a time. And I'm not going to think about what's next. Right now, I'm just focusing on doing this one thing and doing it well. And then we'll see what the next thing is. And, you know, also in that time, I've given up vapes. And now I'm at something that's slightly less toxic, which is Zen. And I want to get off of that as well. So, but let me be very clear. It took me 3 years in recovery before I even started thinking about this, before it was even on my radar. Like, oh, I'm just going to, you know, I'll exercise next week, or I'll do this, I'll do that.
I think
like,
a lot of
3 years, man.
Yeah,
over three and a half years.
Needing to prove to ourselves that we can do some things.
Yeah.
And that we're not as limited as we once thought we were.
Yeah.
And getting sober really ought to be a pretty confidence boosting endeavor.
Yeah.
You know, if you can not do drugs, there's a lot of stuff you can pull off.
Yeah. But in my case, it's taken 3 years to even start thinking that way. It's I haven't been in survival mode, but I've been in, well, I'm not doing dope today. I'm not drinking alcohol today. That's a win. And that is true. That's definitely true. It's any day that I don't put any sort of substance, mind altering substance in my body, that's a win.
That's absolutely a win.
So let's be very, very clear. But I'm just at a point now, and we'll check in, you know, in the months, you know, in the future and stuff. We'll check in and see how we're doing and things like that. But as of right now, I feel very positive. I'm taking small steps forward, and I feel positive about that. Now, the cold plunge. How are you on the cold plunging?
Let's talk about how you're doing. Let's focus on you.
Well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but yes, I have. I went a year with not missing a day at all. It was like I don't know. It was like, I'm going to do this. This is something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I hate it. Every day I hate it. Every single day I hate it. But it is that thing that helps me build discipline and find discipline within myself, because it's not enjoyable. Yes, I feel decent afterwards, but the process, it's miserable every day.
Every time.
Every time. There's been 2 times in the last 18 months, I guess, where I had a massively busy day at work. I was physically, mentally exhausted. I got in that cold plunge and it felt great. And I was able to close my eyes and meditate for 5 minutes. That's happened twice. Other than that, every day I hate it. So I can't say that I've done it every day since that year. But I do it every day that I'm home at a reasonable time. If I get home like at 8 or 9, whether it be a football game at Riley's school or working late or being up here at the studio late, then I won't do that. But that's been maybe over the last 6 months, I've missed maybe 10 days. So pretty consistent. And it's something that I'm going to continue to do as long as that cold plunge is on the back porch. I'm going to be honest with you. Some days I'm praying to God that when I go outside on that back porch, that cold plunge, it won't work anymore. And the water is spilled out everywhere and there's just no hope. And I'm not spending
But that day hadn't happened yet.
I'm not spending another $800 to get this set up again. Like I'm just, no. But that has not happened yet.
I might cold plunge today.
The health benefits are pretty, we know they're phenomenal. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'm having, how are we doing on time? Oh wow, we're almost at 40 minutes. It's definitely one of those things that I'm, building, and being consistent with in recovery. And that's, I wasn't consistent with anything when I was in addiction. So the fact that I'm getting in a 10 cubic foot deep freezer with freezing cold water, that's, considering where I was 4 years ago with, meth up my nose, Adderall in my system and weed in my system and maybe a little alcohol also every once in a while.
Polish it off.
Absolutely. A little nightcap. Everybody does that.
Of course.
I've come a long way, and I don't want to be proud because pride for me is pretty toxic, but I do feel positive. Excuse me. Thank you. I do feel positive about the strides that I've made in recovery, and I'm optimistic about what the future growth is going to look like. So no plunging for you. When was the last time you plunged?
About a month ago, I got in.
Okay.
Because I had a hard leg day, and my calves were killing me, and I was like, I think I might help a little bit.
Is the water still in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What temperature do you keep it at?
I think it's at like 42 right now.
Yeah.
I think I might get in today. It'd be a good day for it.
Yeah. Why not? Let's small things forward.
Small thing.
As we talked about long ago, 1% improvement every
1%.
day. That's all we're shooting for. 1%.
Look, we have some topics we can circle back on next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think, we've pretty much covered everything today that I wanted to cover. It's not going to be a full hour episode today, but, I think we've covered what we wanted to cover for today. So
I do too. I feel good.
I do as well. So here's to eating healthy tonight and jumping in the cold plunge tonight and
Pecans and pineapple.
And Cinnabon. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly appreciate you joining us and hanging out. And Drew's going to be out of town next week, so
yes.
we may have an episode, we may not. It just depends on what I can kind of get squared away as far as a guest or co-host. But if not next week, we will see you the following week after that. And thank you again for joining us. We'll see you when we see you.